Hello my dear friends, thank you so much for tuning into this next video. So I decided in this video I want to reflect about Passover this year, what I felt worked really good, what maybe I could have worked on a little bit better, and then what I hope to do for next year. Alright, well first of all, this was my first ever keto Passover. Yeah, I know that sounds like an oxymoron, because just during Passover you're eating, it's matzah and a lot of sugar and just so many carbs. So basically what I did was, instead of buying my own matzah, which I've done for many years, I decided I'm only going to eat the matzah that is given to me at Seder, on the Seder night. So what I did was I went to 2 community Seders for the first night and then the second night. And what I did was I went with the absolute minimal amount that I could have. Now, also the problem during Passover is a lot of the dishes, even things that you would think might not be very carb-rich heavy, are very carb-rich heavy. Things like brisket. You put a sauce on a brisket, especially a sweet sauce, it's usually loaded with sugar. Or they use matzah meal in the breading, or they'll use matzah meal to thicken the sauce. All kinds of, or potato starch, all kinds of hidden carbs that you don't necessarily think about. So that's the first thing. I'm going to pretty much assume that most dishes that are going to be given to me on the Seder night are going to be carb heavy. So with that being said, as long as it is like a basic dish, like a brisket that doesn't really have like a sauce on it, and even the kugels, like potato kugel, Lushen kugel, noodle kugel, that kind of stuff, carbs. So definitely doing a little more research I think will help for next year. Also, I ate the minimum amount, so pretty much I had like a third of a shamor matzah, which, is a nice big round one. But then what I ended up doing was not even thinking about it, because, when I was given the dessert, before the afikomen, which is the quote-unquote real dessert, you have a couple of Passover brownies, that kicks you right out of ketosis. So then for about 2 days after the second day, my stomach was growling for carbs, because I reminded my body about carbs and it wanting to burn carbs instead of fat. So that means I went well over my intent. In fact, when I tested my blood sugar, like at maybe a couple days post Seder, my blood sugar was about a fasting blood sugar of about 100 to about 105. So that's not technically diabetic, it's pre-diabetic. So it wasn't like it was like 126, 127. But still, even at 100, you are still doing irreversible damage to the kidneys, to the eyes, to your limbs. You're still doing damage of some kind. So with that being said, I'm thinking what I might just have to do for next year, unless I get invited to a Seder where I know someone is doing keto, I'm going to have to pretty much do Passover Seder on my own. Then I can control, what goes into the Seder food. I mean, I'll still go to shul. I'll still go and spend time in the community for Passover. But for meals, I'm going to definitely have to really crack down for next year. Because, a couple of days of misery for that, you know, for one night, say for just a Seder, to me, really isn't worth it. But I still want to spend time in the community, of course, talking to people, going to people's homes, going to shul for the prayers, any classes that are offered during Passover. I still want to do all that next year. All that. It's just Seder night, I have to really crack down. So that's my thought on it. I still had a very, very meaningful Passover the rest of the days. You know, I ate things like zucchini noodles. I had my almond breads, quote unquote, which was literally almond flour, no actual hummus involved, and you know, it really was just. I think it was probably one of my best Passovers in a while, because normally by the end you were so dried out from matzah, and your system is in real turmoil. Everybody who celebrates Passover knows exactly which turmoil I'm talking about here. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for watching. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video. Bye-bye.